You can just start, Leo. I'll just like not be on it today. Like for now. So I get it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live and happy hump day. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure you do that now. Tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. You know the drill. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris?
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
Hey everybody, it's Jackie Ray here. You can follow me everywhere at JRay the Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's your girl Britt Johnson. You can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson. A little tongue-tied today.
Chris, what day is it today?
Oh, it's hump day. I don't know about y'all. This week feeling a little bit faster. You guys feeling good this week? I'm feeling okay this week.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, it's Victory Wednesday. My Dodgers won game 1 last night. And out of the last 23 World Series, whoever wins game 1, 19 of them have went on to win the World Series. So it is kind of a little bit good luck. Although 2017 we won game 1 and didn't win, but you know, I'm pushing forward.
See, you could have left that part out. Look at you. You could have left that part out. Dodgers fans over here like, Britt.
I have to make sure the universe knows that I know the options here. I know everything going on here. I'm not blind. Okay.
Well, luckily the odds are in your favor, so good news.
Wait, didn't the last time? So wait, when's the last time that happened? Because I saw somebody post on Instagram that they thought that since the Lakers won, that the Dodgers were automatically going to win because the last time that they something about a 3-peat. I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing, so I'm not a Dodgers fan. But
the Dodgers haven't been to the World, right? Haven't won a World Series since 2008. So I don't know. That might be like
did the Lakers win in 1988? I don't remember.
There's going to be a team that is going to win 2 championships this year because we know Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup, and Tampa Bay Rays are in the World Series, and then the Lakers win, NBA, and Dodgers are in it. So there's going to be a city that's going to have 2 teams win a national or a world championship this year.
Oh, so it's crazy. So Arthie confirmed. Yes, the Lakers and the Dodgers won in 1988. So that's what you need to hold on, Britt. Like they said in the chat, you need to party like 1988. You need to party like it's 1988.
They said 98.
Just play that Prince song and change the number.
What happened to all the other times the Lakers won and the Dodgers didn't? Like, what happened, guys?
We're not focused on that. We're focused on the good stuff.
Yeah, focus on the positive.
Very long time.
You guys, speaking of focusing on the positive, let's get into our first need-to-know news story where NBA evaluators are apparently not wanting to pay attention to the positive. So this story is all about LaMelo Ball. Bleacher Report published an article detailing how some NBA evaluators feel about LaMelo, mainly because of his lack of professionalism. The report says, quote, not every NBA evaluator loves LaMelo Ball, whose shooting and professionalism have been questioned by some around the league, even if they still have him at or near the top of their board. So I don't know where this skepticism comes from about his professionalism. When he was in Australia, his teammates spoke really highly of him. His coach said that he was very committed to the game and that he was a great addition to the team. Aaron Brooks, who he was with on the Illawarra Hawks, even went into the season with some judgments already made about LaMelo, but he was disproven after getting to know him. So hearing all of that, I don't know how he could now come to the U.S., be a part of the NBA draft, and suddenly have this, demeanor that lacks professionalism. To me, it seems surprising, but I guess I've never met the guy, so I don't really know. But he, I think, is going from being more of a big fish in a little pond to a little fish in a big pond over here in the U.S., so it just doesn't seem like the right time that you develop an attitude. So, Chris, I want to go to you first. Do you think that LaMelo does lack professionalism, or where do you think this report is coming from?
Before I answer that question, I'm about to lack some professionalism and just enjoy this report because I'm hoping that all these teams pass on him so he just falls on down to number 8. So, yes, please, I hope all of them are hating on him. They don't want him. Come on down to number 8. But, no, I don't think so. I think that there's just that fear with everything that was tied to him and his dad. And, he still has that kid mentality from, the TV shows and all that stuff. So people are probably just worried that he might still be that kid. And I think that's understood because he's only 20 or 19 years old. So I get that, but to me, I feel like both of those are both weak reasons to not want to go forward with them. But at the same time, like I said, let them fall. Well, if you don't want words, it's fine. T-Wolf, you too. Just let them come on down. That's fine. By all means, because I know we're going to swoop them up.
All right, Chris, thank you. So, Jackie, I want to ask you, do you feel like LaMelo is always in a position where he has to prove his worthiness, or do you think that he is getting the respect that he deserves?
I think that if your last name is Ball, you are always going to be in a position where you have to prove yourself, and they can thank their daddy for that because he's hyped him up to be the end all be all. And unfortunately, Lonzo got in first, and he did not live up to that hype. We could argue that he's definitely improving, but he didn't live up to that hype. So he's always going to, if your last name is Ball, you're always going to have an uphill battle. It's just going to be the way that it is until they could literally get to this amazing status. And we're going to still be talking about, but what about that one time? You know what I mean? Because that's just the nature of their legacy right now. So I think though he'll embrace it. He'll be fine. He's spent his whole life under a spotlight, and in that moment. So I think he'll be fine. But yeah, he's always going to have, if your last name is Ball and you are related to LeVar, this is your life now. Welcome to it.
Right. And then piggybacking off of what you just said, Jackie, Britt, my question for you is, do you think people look for reasons to dislike LaMelo because he grew up in the limelight, or do you think that there is some validity to this report?
When you talk about people, are you talking about just general fans, or are you talking about like the NBA scouts, like the people who are going to be bringing him in?
I think for the sake of the conversation, let's talk about these NBA evaluators and scouts. But if you want to include media and fans in general, go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's what their job is. Their job is literally to dissect everything about you. They have to see what kind of person you are, what kind of leader you're going to be, how you're going to fit with whatever guys they already have inside of their locker room. So unfortunately for even just this generation as a whole, like they're going to have to deal with a lot more other things that, former ballers didn't have to deal with because of social media and because all of their wild antics or any crazy things they've done before, which is why we were so mad at Bronny for posting that weed thing, because that is just something now that people have on you, So I think obviously we know that your reputation precedes you, and in this moment we know what LeVar's done, and we know what how he's made his boys look and perceive them to be, and so everybody's going to be chasing that. It doesn't matter who they are. And even as you were saying with the coach, like, yeah, until he knew him, he didn't think this until he knew him. But at the end of the day, when it's a business thing, that doesn't matter. People don't really care about knowing you yet. They care about what people are saying, what it looks like on the outside. It's all about like optics in these situations. So unfortunately, he's going to have to deal with this kind of stuff. I think it's warranted just because of, you probably shouldn't have done a reality show in this, that, and the third before you made it in the league, because now all of those things are going to end up backfiring and negatively affecting you. Now, at the end of the day, will he still probably be chosen top 5? Sorry, Chris. I think so, but
right.
But
no.
It is not with just him, with anybody. All of these kids that are getting huge social followings before making it, they're going to have to deal with those consequences at some point in time.
It's a catch-22 though, because we've seen these people who have these amazing social media. Now all of a sudden they are in conversations about getting drafted early, or and the thing is like you mentioned this before, Britt. We see the best of their highlights. We don't see the 20 shots they missed before they got that one highlight. But because they have taken to social media and built up this following, they're now relevant. And it's going to, like you said, it's going to end up biting them in the butt unless they can live up to it. If they can live up to it, great. But if not, they're going to get into that situation, and it's gonna backfire.
And that perfectly goes into what you just said, because unlike all those other players where we do see the highlights constantly on Instagram, LaMelo Ball is one that we will see the lowlights because of the last name Ball, because people are going to look for the negative. So we see the missed shots, we see all those things. So then apparently all the other players, they don't miss shots, but LaMelo Ball does. So yeah, 100%.
But I mean, at the end of the day, the scouts, like I talked about in that story that, or the Britt's take that Jackie's mentioning, in that moment, the scout literally said, "I'd go to these games, and these players would only have one good highlight. They'd only do one thing, and then they'd be like, forget it." You know, like the scouts are really good, and they like. I mean, it's worse because they have to decipher through and go through all of these like players now social that media, have these highlight thingies because of social media, and so they potentially miss out on actually really good players because they have like a bigger, you know, catalog to look at. But the kids that are good are not going to get. I mean, the kids that aren't that good are going to get found out very soon. And I think LaMelo Ball is good, and I just think it's like the extra stuff that they have to go through and comb through because of you know, his social media presence.
I used to edit highlight reels for high school kids, and it sucks because they send you hours and hours and hours of footage, and you're like, my guy, just tell me the time code that you actually make a shot. It is the worst thing. I will never do that again, ever.
I did that too. It
is awful.
It's interesting because a lot of what we're saying about LaMelo and about how, like what you said, Britt, his reputation precedes him, it can all be linked back to LeVar Ball and the business decisions that he made for the family when LaMelo was still just a minor. And I know that LeVar does and says all of this stuff because he just believes so deeply in his kids, and he's just trying to be a good dad. But ultimately, it has backfired in multiple ways. And it's just like, I wonder when that moment's going to come. Maybe it's already here right now, when he just sort of takes a step back and lets his kids do the talking for themselves so that they have the opportunity to create their own reputation and have their chance to shine without all the stuff that he's been saying. Jackie, what was that face?
I mean, I thought that moment was going to happen when his wife got sick. When she had that medical thing happen to her, I thought, oh God, life just happened to him. He's going to take a step back, and we're not going to see the wrong as hell. He took maybe a week, and then he was right back to LeVar as usual. So if that didn't make him stand down, I don't think we'll ever see a moment in time when that happens.
And don't you guys think that he literally is only doing this because he has to now? All his kids are over 18, and they've decided, like, Dad, actually, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that anymore. And he doesn't have a choice but to step down. He has no choice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, he has been quieter. He has been a little bit quieter lately. We have way fewer LeVar headlines than we did a year ago and 2 years ago. So I don't know. Maybe this is his him kind of giving up on his role as like the outspoken dad. I don't know, you guys, but thank you for your input on all of that. For those of you in the chat, let us know what you think about LaMelo Ball and whether or not he actually lacks professionalism. And on that note, Chris, can you take us into the post up?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Post Up with your boy Chris. Quarantine edition. Yes, it's still quarantine edition, I guess. But we are jumping right into the Post Up, where we have a meme. I don't know if this is gonna go over the panel's head because it is a Dragon Ball Z meme, but I saw this and I love this because I love the comparison. This dude, Chris Montano, is a huge Warriors fan. So anytime he has any opportunity to do anything that has to do with Steph Curry or anything with the Warriors, his name is Golden GSW Chris or whatever. So I saw this online. I thought this was actually pretty dope. But I don't know if Steph was getting scanned. I don't know what was going on, if they was checking his power levels. I don't know what was happening. But Chris dropped this meme comparing it to Dragon Ball Z. And for those who may not know what happens after Goku comes out of his hibernation, comes down and he starts whooping Shamash. So maybe there's some foreshadowing here. He gave him the loading trademark. I think it's a little disrespectful because they had D'Angelo Russell there, and D'Angelo Russell's whole trademark thing is loading, so that's kind of disrespectful to do that. But whatever, I thought it was a cool little meme here. I just want to know what the hell's going on. Like, what are we scanning for? Is he okay? Is this like just a normal, like, what's going on there? But other than that, I think the meme was dope. So shout out to. What's up?
It's his eyes. Remember he said he couldn't see, and then he probably recently got it. You know how he recently got LASIK, and then this is his eyes.
And I remember that whole thing. Oh, and that's what that is?
I think so, maybe.
Well, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I thought the eye thing would be something smaller. They put you in something that big for your eyes?
I think they're just rechecking it.
You got money, they probably got things taken. I mean, if you got money, they probably got the machine reading all his brain cells and what's right. Yeah.
The one I got was just right here.
That machine lights up on which part he's seeing better and stuff.
What eye people need, but that's because his mask was still on, so I was like, okay, well, he ain't in like a dentist chair, nothing like that. He's not getting an MRI, nothing like that.
Right.
So
yeah, because there's a lot of lights going on. I don't know,
but they're saying like, oh, I can see here, yes. Like I thought it was one of those things.
Well, regardless, the meme potential was there, and Chris took it, and I enjoyed that meme. I like that one a lot. Now, something that it was kind of a meme, but it wasn't a meme because there was a lot of dudes that were loving Lou Williams a few years ago. But a lot of you guys remember, Lou Williams, who is outside of being one of the greater 6 men in the history of our game, he's known for his relationship with 2 girls at once, to the point where it was on the Drake song, all the rada. We know that he's become a social media legend where dudes are, loving that the whole situation that went on. I don't even think he's still with both of them. I think he's just with one of them. I don't know. Someone's gonna have to fact check me on that. But regardless, that was a thing back a few years ago. But we got a dude that was on Twitter, and he's trying to be on Lou Will's level, to the point where he tweeted at Lou Will with this tweet asking for some advice, saying, "Yo, I'm trying to introduce my 2 girlfriends to each other. Any advice?" And then Lou Will responded with, "It's too late already. They got to introduce you to them," champ, with some like, I don't know, yogi kind of like stage kind of response. I don't know how to feel about it. I saw it way too late, but one of my favorite responses was O'Shea Jackson, who was in the bottom. He dropped a meme or a gif of someone like, he's taking notes, looking at it and taking notes. I was just like, yo, these people are so wild when it comes to this whole thing. But Yogi Master Lou Will, or whatever you want to say about that. But Lou Will giving advice out there. I'm still trying to decipher this one, so I need y'all to help me with this one. What the hell does he mean by that they have to introduce them to? There's no way that
girlfriends, they gotta be kind of bisexual, lesbian kind of girls, and they're with each other, and they come on to you together, like, hey, you want to hang out with me and my friend?
That seems that's what it is. Like that would never happen. But I guess
now they got a baby. They're like,
he is just one with one of them.
Chris, you knew that. You just wanted to hear it said out loud. There's no way you didn't know that.
The thing is, I got it, but my brain's just like, there's no way that's real. That cannot really happen. But again, I mean, what do I know?
When your NBA star, it is real.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's true.
I want to add one thing. I love that Lou Will not only was able to manage having 2 girlfriends at the same time and keep them both happy, but he was also able to break up with one of them and apparently continue to stay friends. Cool. Like that doesn't happen.
Crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't happen with just one guy and one girl. So Lou Will must have something special going on.
He really is a good six man.
I'm telling you, this man, he's a social media legend for a reason. Yeah. So go ahead, Lou. Go ahead, dog. Right. But we're going from that question to another question. This question is coming from Tobias Harris, who's a bit confused. Okay. Now, we all know that whole social media side of people who are just, they cannot stand when any NBA platform uses their platform, or any NBA player uses their platform to talk about politics. And Tobias Harris is confused on the man. He just cannot understand why NBA players are so different from literally anybody else on social media expressing how they feel about politics. So Tobias Harris dropped this tweet. He said, "I'm a bit confused. So because we play in the NBA and have a salary, we can't talk politics, but how you earn your salary as a doctor, janitor, lawyer, teacher, plumber, store manager, cashier, entrepreneur, server, etc. automatically makes you more qualified to discuss politics." And of course, as you'd expect, coming with that, there was a bunch of stupid responses, and people were still going after him as an NBA player and blah, 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 which is why I really enjoyed, and I think Stan Van Gundy put it the best way possible with his response, and just basically telling Tobias Harris, logic won't work on these folks, Tobias. And I think that's basically what it is. fight stupid. You just cannot fight stupid in English. That's just how it is. I hear the question. I hear you on it, but you ain't gonna get your answer because people are gonna still feel how they feel, and that's just the unfortunate part of social media, especially Twitter. So yeah, Tobias, keep on asking, but you probably ain't gonna get that answer, my guy, unfortunately. Now, as you guys see by the thumbnail, we got ourselves a bit of a comparison. Now, I've been on the Duncan Robinson train for a while now, so I'm glad that Duncan Robinson's out here getting some shine to the point where he's getting nicknames from the Los Angeles Lakers because they know that you got to worry about said player. Because normally in the hoop world, do you give dudes nicknames either when they're really trash, but you can tell by their nickname, or when there's somebody you got to worry about and you ain't going to bother to learn their name. That's just how it goes. And I feel like that's the situation here because the Lakers gave Duncan Robinson a nickname throughout the NBA Finals whenever they were talking about somebody having to go and beyond him. And the nickname he got was Jimmy Neutron. But I grew up on the show and movie Jimmy Neutron as a kid. I feel like there was somebody else that was a better comparison than Jimmy Neutron, but is in the same exact show. And they talked about that here on the show that he was on right here. So here's a clip.
Robinson looked like Sheen from Jimmy Neutron. This was the big one.
Yes.
This one. This is the one I saw.
Yeah, he does look more like Shane.
I'm okay with it. This is my only problem with that is that I get Jimmy Neutron as well.
That was the next one.
Right.
I don't see that at all.
I can't be both. Yeah, like that doesn't even make sense.
Right.
Can I be two characters from the same show? During the finals, the Lakers bench was yelling Jimmy Neutron at me. So I don't understand how I can be Sheen and also Jimmy Neutron.
Right.
I'd be Jimmy Neutron. Out of those
Which one would you rather be? Yeah,
I'd rather
you'd
be
Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Probably Jimmy.
No.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the part right there, and that's what I was talking about. I feel like where he was getting, because there was other reports where he was talking about, they were calling him Jimmy Neutron when they got him, get on Jimmy Neutron, cover Jimmy Neutron, da 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 da. So from that standpoint, you would rather be Jimmy Neutron than Sheen. So I get it from that standpoint. She was more fun, but at the same time, Patrick is more fun in SpongeBob. But we know he's a damn idiot. So at the same time, do you want to be Patrick? Do you want to be Sheen? So, but on top of all that, I saw this perfect put together picture. I don't know if it made it in time. It probably did, but there was a picture of Sheen's head on top of.
Oh no, that's terrible.
I was like, there it is. There it is. There it is. I was like, yep, there it is. Case closed. There it is. We see it. God, this man really has a no chin. All right, get it off. Get it off. Yeah.
That's I'm gonna have nightmares.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's better than that Ness Cantor post we had last week with those nasty little worm things. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Bring that back. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. My bad. But going from the basketball world, going to baseball, because I was here to share the moment. I know it was on Post Up, but we saw the moment of Cody Bellinger who over celebrated a little bit to the point where he hurt his shoulder before getting into World Series. So he decided, you know what, not doing that again, and decided to completely change up his celebration after getting this run. Check out the video. Yeah. Check it. He pointed at the foot just to make sure, look, this is all we doing. All right, here we go. All right, yeah. Come on, don't touch me.
He watched us on Monday. He knew.
Is that what you guys said he had to change it up to?
Yeah,
because no more shoulder bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
I don't like that kick step either, though, because next thing we know, he's gonna walk with a limp. He's gonna come down wrong. Maybe we'll let you see. We said jazz hands, did we not?
We lightly tapped that.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna say it was light. It was light. It was real light. I think I'm gonna give it a pass. But watch us find out that his ankle hurt. Then we're gonna have to have a different conversation. You're right. You're very right.
Jazz.
But going to somebody good. Hold on. Hey.
You don't need an ankle.
Oh my. Oh my goodness, that's facts. We're moving off of Cody and his new celebration. We got a bit of a tribute from Sharif O'Neal. Now, Sharif is somebody who was really close to Kobe. Obviously, his dad, Shaq, and Kobe had a really good relationship to the point where Kobe extended his mentorship and his tutelage. You see me out here? Look, check the dictionaries. I'm out here. You see me? Check me out. But he was somebody that was really staying and making sure he was checking up on Sharif O'Neal throughout his entire basketball journey up until the unfortunate moments. We talked about the final IG messages. So Sharif is really close to Kobe Bryant, so much so to the point where he did something that a lot of us here on the Fumble panel are not a fan of, but he did he got a tattoo of Kobe Bryant on his calf. But this one, I don't hate. It's a solid one. First of all, that's one of my favorite Kobe Bryant photos. I mean, it made it to on top of NBA 2K10. Oh my goodness, someone correct me in the chat. But that's one of my favorite Kobe pictures. Is the celebration, and I think it came out dope. It looks good. His head ain't fat. His eyes are where they're supposed to be. Everything is good. I thought it was fine because we saw some other tattoos that Sharif also got that don't look quite like what they're supposed to look like, but this one was on point. So I gotta ask every time we get any kind of like profiles of anybody on a tattoo, how are we feeling in the panel? Are we liking this one? What's the word? How are we feeling about this one? Britt's on a fan.
I mean, I don't mind it.
Looks like Kobe. I just don't like the face on it.
Not,
It doesn't
not
look
a fan.
Kobe. It's not. I don't know. I just feel like the guy was running out of ink, so he was just like not doing. I don't know. I don't like tattoos that aren't clean. I don't like it. Sorry.
Dang. Devin, you
a picture to take, like that's a good picture to do, but I don't like it.
For me, it might be because it was it's a little blurry on the computer screen and through the live, but yeah, I agree. It looked a little fuzzy or something, or like the face wasn't really done as neatly or nicely as it could have been. So I don't know. I can't say it's my favorite tattoo, but it's not the worst one we've seen either for Kobe.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the thing is, we're going to be seeing him from afar playing basketball. We ain't going to be all up in his calf. So I feel like from afar, it did the job. So you're probably right. He's going to have to sit there and look at it like, yeah, that face.
It's like a Monet.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Kobe at all.
Like, it looks
right.
like blur from close up, but from far away, it looks nice.
It looks exactly like Kobe. So yeah, there you go.
For a Monet.
I do feel like it was blurry for us, though, Chris. You saw the regular picture. Is it clean, or is it like Britt said, and it's a little flashy?
The one that's up close, Britt's on. Because there's two of them. There's one where you see it from a little bit further away, and that one looks really good. But the one that's up close, when you start to see the one on the right, you see the detail on his face. Yeah. But when you look at the one on the left, I'm cool with it. I think I have no problem with that. I mean, if you move the champagne popper, you can see that his Muhammad Ali tattoo isn't that great, but you can't see it. But
looks like he has scarring on his leg too. So maybe he should have put it in a different spot.
All right, leave Sharif alone. Hey, I like the tribute, Sharif.
We don't like it.
Good picture, yeah. We're gonna have a problem with any kind of like person tattoos on bodies anyway. So I think that's not entirely your fault.
Robert,
this is a great comment.
The tattoo artist did it with the Chris blurry filter. Robert is the GOAT. Robert came up with petty adjacent.
Chris White.
Robert.
Chris, is that your man?
And why did I back up? And why did I back up and get more blurry?
I think it's the Devin blurry filter today. Actually, it's the whole
Exactly right. Everybody except Chris today.
Chris blurry.
I'm just trying to figure out why I backed up and got more blurry. We're trying to be upset.
Even Kobe got it.
Robert, you and me got problems, man. We got problems, Robert. We got problems, and we moving on because I don't want to hear any more from you. Moving on. Does everybody want to laugh? We had somebody that's like, look what you did, Robert. You did this. Everything was good. Everything was good last post up. Look what you've done. Look what you've done.
Oh,
I'm so upset. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to wait for the blur to pass. It's not gonna pass.
You see me? I'm here trying. I'm here stalling, hoping that something changes. Whatever, we're going to move into the next one. Now, we've had a lot of rumors, especially this past trade deadline, of Derrick Rose possibly being traded to reunite with LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, but that never went through. Trade deadline passed, it didn't happen, and then that all fizzled out. But now we're getting rumors again that it's, in quotes, more likely to happen now than when the initial trade talks began. And although a lot of people are trying to believe this and people are feeling really good about it, Bleacher Report's posting it, all these, all the main blog sites are posting it. There's somebody who's not a big fan of it and does not believe these reports, and that is somebody from the inside. That is none other than Derrick Rose's girl herself. She saw the post on Bleacher Report, and while everyone else was like, oh, this would be a good fit, this would make sense, she simply just dropped 4 laughing emojis, which makes me believe, well, this whole rumor was debunked. I don't think there's any truth to this at all. But that's just how I'm reading this. But I'm coming to you, Britt Johnson, seeing her response to this. Do you think that means that there's this is just another rumor that has absolute no truth behind it? Or what are you thinking about her response to this rumor?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it means. Like without saying nothing, but saying it all in the same breath. So I think she is very clear in that, like, really, they had a interest in who? So yeah, I think she's right on with that one for sure.
Yeah, unfortunate. Jackie, I want to talk to you real quick though. You are the LeBron sexual, so you follow LeBron James from stop to stop. So this one has a little bit more of a history factor to it, because we do know, as great and as much as better as Derrick Rose has been since the injury now, the situation with him in Cleveland didn't work out the greatest. So as a Laker fan now, and knowing how the team is built now, and then coming off a championship, are you okay with Derrick Rose, LeBron James part 2? You think this will work better because the team is different, or you don't want Derrick Rose with LeBron James at all?
It's not that I don't want Derrick Rose with LeBron James. I just don't think it makes sense. You know what I mean? I like Derrick Rose. If it ended up happening, I would kind of raise an eyebrow at it, just because I don't know if you're going to get the longevity out of him. And if you're bringing him in because you need a strong point guard, unfortunately, while we all like Derrick Rose, we've said this time and time again, he hasn't proven that he's going to stay healthy for an entire season. So that doesn't just seem to be a good business move. So I don't have a problem with Derrick Rose. I'm sure LeBron thinks he's a cool guy. They probably have a friendship, but I mean, we're talking business right now. So I don't see that happening at all, unfortunately.
That's very true, because even though last year his stats were...
He can go across the hall though if he wants to, because the Clippers seem to be like they in need. I'm down for that, and then we can wave at you across the hall. But
Britt's like, we're good. Britt's like, we're cool. We're cool.
Somebody on your squad said you need another.
But that's the thing. After everything we just talked about, Derrick Rose, I don't feel like is the dude to fill in that spot, because that's just another quiet voice on the team, and I think we're gonna be talking about what we're talking about again later. But I think that's the biggest thing is his health, because even last year when he was having one of his better seasons since the whole injury and whatnot, he was not healthy throughout last year, and it wasn't really making a difference because the Pistons still suck. So I don't know. I didn't buy the rumors from the start, and thanks to Wifey, I definitely don't buy the rumors now. So moving off of that. But now something that's not rumor, and there's a little bit of coincidence here, but according to this fan and a lot of other Tom Brady fans, is a lot of facts. Tom Brady is a moving good luck charm. Now, we talked about it earlier. Britt Johnson was talking about the fact that either way, we'll be seeing a championship, 2 championships for LA or 2 championships for Tampa Bay. Well, people are putting that one step further and saying that Tampa Bay is going from winning nothing to all of a sudden about to have possibly 2 or maybe 3 championships for all those delusional people that think the Buccaneers are going to win a championship. Cut to the Super Bowl and watch them win a championship, and I'm going to have to get all these DMs. I'm going to be pissed off, but I'm not going to put that energy out there. But, people are saying that Tom Brady is a good luck charm from when he was born to now. And somebody took the time to put it all out on a graph. This is a real Excel sheet graph that someone put it together on from 77 all the way up to now. This is, as you can see, where Tom Brady lives and the sports teams that are there and what they have done. So when in his time in San Francisco, apparently it's his fault that the Niners were great and won Super Bowls, and the Raiders won their Super Bowl, and the Oakland A's got to the World Series. Then when he moved over to Ann Arbor, as you know, what college he went to, the Red Wings were all of a sudden great, and they got to the Stanley Cup, went to the conference championship. Michigan won their national championship, but then once he went to the Patriots, he was there for such a long period of time, and he has a lot to do with the luck of Boston's success, because he played for the Patriots. They won championships. The Red Sox were having some of their best years. The Celtics resurged those years. The Bruins, and so on and so forth. And now that he's in Tampa Bay, the effects are already hitting. Not even halfway through his first season as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, where the Lightning just won their Stanley Cup championship, and now the Rays are in the World Series and have a chance to win, even though they had a terrible game 1. So, all that being said, is this just a bunch of coincidences? And you think that I'm going to come to you, Devin. Do you think this is just a huge coincidence, or do you think that we could probably pull anybody who's been in the league for such a long time, like LeBron James, and probably do the exact same thing and pull a lot of teams that were successful wherever he stayed?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like to believe in good luck charms. So I don't know. I guess I can see some validity to it. But I really have no idea. I'm sure if you did look at any star like that and you did the same thing.
So.
By the way, whoever did that, they spent a very long time on
Too
that.
much time.
They must have a lot of time on their hands. But I'm sure you could find something like that. But I like to believe in good luck charms, and if it makes people feel better, go ahead.
Right. I don't know how I feel about this one. Maybe just because I just don't want to give that to Tom Brady. But I got to come to you though, Britt, because you're the one that actually has a dog in this more recent race with the Dodgers and the Tampa Bay Rays. Do you think that this is just all one big coincidence, or after everything you were naming at the top of the show, are you a little bit more worried now adding this to the list of crazy conspiracies?
Well, I think it is very unique and interesting that everywhere he went, because it is hard to win championships at all. And for the San Francisco, when they won their 5 championships, all happened to be in the same time that Tom Brady was there, is very interesting. There. Because they haven't won since then, and then you go on with all these other teams and the same thing. So that is huge, honestly, like the Celtics even winning because they hadn't won in a long time. But once Tom Brady's there, they won. Obviously, when you look at the time frame, though, you're taking a chunk of years. It is like a decent amount of time. But I guess he probably is good luck. Hopefully he hasn't been in Tampa long enough to make it over to the Rays. And hopefully, if not, I'm going to have to see if we can kidnap Tom Brady real quick and have him come stay in LA for the next couple games.
Right.
How the game happens tonight and see what happens. If not, maybe we might need to snatch Tom Brady up. So Dodgers fans, in the comments, you guys want to get together a crew with me, and we'll get a white van and some gloves and masks, and we're sitting waiting outside the Bucks arena just in case. Yeah.
Well, my favorite continuation of this entire story, there was a response in the to this same tweet that said the battle of the old heads, and it had LeBron James and Tom Brady looking at each other because one's Tampa Bay Buccaneer, the other one's Los Angeles Laker. I was just like, all these coincidences I think are pretty funny, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's on your side, because I have no horse race and I don't want any kind of good luck going towards Tom Brady. So yes, go Dodgers, strictly because of this. Go Dodgers. But and going on to this, last but not least, oh my goodness, I love ending post up with funny clips, and I have another one for you. Now, one of the main reasons why a lot of players really have a hard time picking where they decide to go when they play overseas, if they have the option, some people don't have the option, they just want to play professionally, so they have to go overseas, is because of the language barrier. A lot of people hate playing certain places because they can't understand the coaches, they don't understand what's going on in the practices and whatnot. Well, this dude, I don't know who the player is. Somebody, when you see his face in the chat, let me know who it is. But this dude is an American player, and he has no excuse, because even though English is not this dude's first language, he made sure that he knew all the right words to get this dude to shoot the damn ball. Check out this clip.
I don't know how to tell you. You have to stop here on the elbow and shoot the ball. Shoot it. When you miss 10, I take you out. Shoot the fucking ball. And after, one more dribble and you pass it to Pera.
There you go. You got it with the face. Like, yeah, coach. Okay, coach. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It freeze right there on him. Looking at guilty face. Shoot the ball.
Ben Simmons. Shoot the ball.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, Brandon's due to the 76ers. He's already going to be a great assistant coach for sure for Doc Rivers. But for me here on Post Up.
Thank you very much, Chris. Now, Jackie, tell us what we not gonna do.
All right, guys. Once again, it's your girl, Jackie Ray. Welcome to What We Not Gonna Do. This one's going to be fun, especially this last one. So hang out. Now, look, if this is your first time here, you might have missed it, but I always say that I think that sports kind of mimic what's going on in our country. People love to watch the NBA, the NFL, but they don't want to talk about the things that impact the majority of people that play both of those sports. So really quick, I want to know if you remember this guy. Leo, can you throw up that first picture? Yes, of course you remember Colin Kaepernick, because he didn't use a racial slur. He didn't bash anyone. He just did a peaceful protest. And unless you're intentionally ignorant, you can all see it that way. It's just a peaceful thing to kind of raise awareness about something that continues to happen in this country, but yet he still receives hate about that, even though he's not in the league anymore. Meanwhile, let me know if you remember this guy. Get that next picture. You remember him?
Mm-hmm.
This is Riley Cooper. Riley Cooper repeatedly used a racial slur. He did some whack apology that we're all familiar with. He got a slap on the wrist, and he got to finish out his days with the Philadelphia Eagles. No big deal. They said, oh, he's better now. He's learned from it. Okay. Now let's move on to this man. We talk about him all the time. This is Bubba Wallace. Now, you guys know that there was this whole incident with him in NASCAR. There's a noose in his stall. Britt said it best, like even if the noose was there before he got the stall, why was it there? Why was there no investigation into finding out what happened? Why was that noose in there? But instead, people gave him a lot of flack, said it was fake, it was staged. That NASCAR did this whole thing where they were supporting him, and then that lasted like 5 minutes, because right after that, it kind of just died away very, very quickly. Now, I wonder if you remember this guy, because this is Kyle Larson. Now, Kyle Larson decided to get on a Twitch thing where he's having like a viral race, and there's thousands upon thousands of people on this chat, and he said, quote, as I stated before, which means he has said this before in that, but this is the one that probably got caught and the one that was recorded. He said, as I stated before, what white person calls another whiter person the N-word unless it's an N-word lover? So let that sink in. An N-word lover, which means he's asking what white person who actually has a fondness for black people would ever actually use that word. There's not one white person who thinks that it's okay to use that word unless, you know, like he's saying, they're an N-word lover. That the disrespect that is in that is amazing. Despite what hip hop has told you, let me just let you guys know real quick. If you are white or not black at all, the N-word should not be anywhere in your vocabulary. So of course, his sponsors did the knee-jerk reaction. They dropped him. But now, guess who's back? Kyle Larson has been picked up, and he's going to be back racing in NASCAR next season. He got the slap on the wrist. Of course, he immediately issued this apology that said, I didn't know it was a big deal, and I'm better now. Part of him coming back means that he has to take engagement training classes until 2023. But here's the crazy thing. I talked to a lot of people who looked like me about this, and none of them seem to think it's a big deal because they think that NASCAR is just racist. That's just what it is, and we shouldn't be surprised that they allowed this racist guy to come back and race with them. That is so sad to me that we're just like, it's racist. That's what it is. But I think that if NASCAR really had made a change, which I didn't believe for a second that they did, but if they had, they would have a zero tolerance when it comes to this type of behavior. So I think this just is a very telling moment. It's infuriating to me that NASCAR is like, okay, he's did his time. We're going to put him in this class where he could probably check his TikTok the whole time. You know, it's not going to be a real class, and we're just going to bring him back. So, Devin, my question is for you. Do you think that this is a slap in the face, or do you think that, oh, they dropped him, he did his time, let's bring him back?
I mean, I obviously don't think that the attitude should be, oh, you know, he did his time, let's bring him back. I mean, I think that any white person or any non-black person who uses that term knows that it's inappropriate, like you were saying. And to me, I feel like this should be something where he stays out of NASCAR for good. I don't think that this should be tolerated, but of course, like what you mentioned before, NASCAR does seem to, at least up until with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, they did more. They were more progressive in their stances, but I think we've seen in the past that they don't typically stand up against racism as much as they definitely should. So I am not surprised that this is what's happening now, that he could come back in.
Yeah, no, I like what Britt, I like what you said in the chat. From now on, we talk about NASCAR, we only talking about Bubba. We ain't talking about nobody else. We're done with you, NASCAR.
Back.
So, on that note, on the same tip, I love it too when people say, hey, because Chris actually brought it up earlier with Tobias and saying, hey, let's keep politics out of sports. That's always funny to me because people who say that, you don't know nothing about sports. Politics and sports have overlapped since we've integrated baseball. So it's a thing, people. I don't know why you guys think it's not. That's weird to me. But imagine how happy I was when Joe Buck and one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, Troy Aikman, decided to just break down that whole narrative and just go full on political in this little dissertation. Check this out.
That's your hard-earned money and your tax dollars at work. That stuff ain't happening with Kamala Biden ticket. I'll tell you that right now, partner.
Okay, first of all, it's a partner for me. That did it for me. That was the best. Number two, I don't think I've ever heard Joe Buck be animated. He didn't do it well. I don't think I've ever heard him be that animated. He's pretty dry. But both of them took offense to the fact that the F-18s did a flyover. As you can see from that video, the stadium is damn near empty. There's hardly anybody there. So they were a little offended that flyover happened. And then, of course, it's the direct endorsement of Joe Biden when y'all talking about keep politics out of sports. And he was like, that's not happening. Man, I tell you what, I was just waiting. I went straight to Twitter. I was like, let me see how mad people are. And people are mad. They called him a traitor, said that he wasn't a patriot. I don't know how they came to that. Also said he didn't have respect for the country or respect for the flag. What was funny, though, is the Navy actually tweeted them, too, saying that they were both wrong. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were wrong, that it's actually free for them to do the flyovers of over stadiums. They actually put it into the budget, and it's part of their training for the pilots to do these flyovers. So it actually doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. However, upon another little Google search, you'll find out that, no, they're right. It's actually part of the budget. There's no charge for like the planes or the pilots or anything like that. But what you are paying for is the jet fuel. Now, please feel free to Google how much jet fuel costs, because in the 2011 Super Bowl, when they did it, they actually posted how much it was, and it was $109,000 for the flyover for 2011. So that's 9 years ago. So I'm factoring in inflation, pandemic surcharge, and I'm averaging that's going to be around $215,000 of taxpayer money that you're paying for jet fuel to fly these planes over. But at least Tampa Bay won. But I think it's hilarious. What the other part that I think is hilarious is this is the exact opposite of what Troy Aikman kind of felt before. Like, he said that he didn't think that there should be these. Yeah, this one. He says, I thought it was a bad look that people tuned in to watch football and sports. It's supposed to be their getaway from politics and from the real world. So I don't agree with those decisions. And that was his viewpoint on seeing people kneel during the national anthem. He said that's not what it is. But yet he just said Biden-Harris in the middle of this thing. I thought it was hilarious. Chris, partner, what are your thoughts on this? Partner. The partner at the end is what did it for me. I was like, okay. Me too. Right. No, Chris, what is your thoughts on this?
No, I had no problem with it. And the thing is, like we were just talking about with Tobias Harris, like, people are going to hate regardless. Don't worry about what those people are saying. Speak your truth. Say what you guys say and move on. I had no problem with it, and I didn't entirely disagree either. So,
right.
I was cool with it.
What do you think about him changing? Like, he, in 2017, he said sports is supposed to be politic free.
Right.
And now he's saying Biden-Harris. Like, I'm not mad at it. I just think it's
I'm not mad either. I think he's just done with what is going on with the state of the world right now. So he's just like, all right. It might not be much of a change, but we gotta get that orange dude out of the office. So I'm gonna say how I feel right now, and that's it. Like, I'm not that. So yeah, 100%.
Bye-bye.
Complete 180.
Partner.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
partner. Y'all heard me say that threw me all the way off. That threw me all the way off.
It says bye-bye, partner.
Partner,
yes, that's gonna be our new thing. Bye-bye, partner.
Yeah, that threw me all the way off. I was like,
made my whole day. Like, okay,
like, quarterback. It made me so proud because I do remember stuff from back in the day, and I'm like, okay, what
I have
a choice. I just saw the headline thing, and I was like,
right.
Yes, three Super Bowl winning quarterback. Yes, that's my quarterback.
I have a signed ticket from Troy Aikman that's all framed. So I was like, look, now I just love that even more. I'm going to have to put him a little closer to LeBron now.
I'm about to say, put that look right. I was just going to say that. I was just going to say right next to LeBron now.
I love it. All right, that's all I got. And now it's time, partners, for Britt's takes.
Britt's takes.
Well, today this is going to be a bit of an extension of what we not gonna do, because what we not gonna do is be like LeBron James. Yes, you can be like LeBron if you want to be in the community and do an I Promise school. Yes, you can be like LeBron James if you want to be a good dad and a husband. Yes, you can be like LeBron James if you're talking about the basketball court. But if we're talking about the baseball diamond, we ain't about to be like LeBron James, because he is now #1 bandwagon fan. So yesterday I'm just on Twitter, watching my Dodgers a little bit, tweeting a little bit, seeing what's going on. And LeBron James had a million tweets. Leo, can we throw up just like a handful? This is just a handful of some of these tweets from LeBron James from yesterday. And he's like, just all haha and hee and I was like, wait, LeBron James, why is he tweeting about the Dodgers? Like, what is he so happy about with the Dodgers? Because if y'all don't remember, because I do remember, LeBron James has never been a Dodgers fan. In fact, we have another tweet here, and it shows all the other teams that LeBron James has represented: the Cubs, the Cleveland Indians, which was the most logical one because that's where he's from, but he was really repping them when they were in the World Series, the Yankees, and then now the Dodgers. Now, I would say, okay, maybe LeBron James is just repping the teams from where he played, but he never played in Chicago. He never played with the Yankees. Leo, if you want to show the next one, I just wanted to do this one because it was really funny. LeBron, when the Cleveland Indians were in the World Series, wore a shirt that said Cleveland or nowhere. So is Los Angeles considered nowhere now? Well,
if you ask my mom,
whoever's in the World Series, apparently. So everybody was kind of going in on LeBron James, like you saw in the things before. Like people were talking about, he is the Drake of baseball, and he is now the #1 bandwagon fan. Dodgers fans weren't having it because, as you guys know, I am a Dodgers fan. We have not won a World Series since 1988. We have been to the World Series several times in the last couple years. I went in 2017 and I went in 2018, and we lost both of them. They were both long series. It was sad. The last one wasn't as long, but they were both, crazy games. I sat all the way in the nosebleeds and paid $1,200 for a nosebleed seat to see my Dodgers play in the World Series, to then ultimately losing. I saw them play in the game that is now recorded as the longest World Series game with 18 innings, and I had to do a 14th inning stretch. So real fans get really upset when people just decide to come in and now have all that joy that LeBron James had yesterday with the Dodgers winning. It's not right. It's not okay. And this is what in the sports world I hate most. You guys know I talk about it all the time. I cannot stand a bandwagon fan for the purpose of the fact that, if you ain't with me when we're losing and having to struggle through tough seasons, then you do not deserve to be there when we are winning either. And again, like I said, if it was LeBron he's just in LA now or whatever. No, LeBron just literally follows whoever's winning. When the Yankees were really good, that's when he was a Yankees fan. It is so crazy. When the Cubs were really good, that's when he was a Cubs fan. You cannot just follow whatever team is good that season. It just doesn't, it's not okay. And real fans don't like it because there are a handful of teams that have never won a World Series, because we all know baseball does not have a salary cap, and the Yankees actually hold over half of the World Series titles. They've won just because they've had the most money to have, all the, players and stars on their team. So it's even, you think football and basketball is hard to win a championship. Baseball is way harder to win if you're not the team that has the most money in the sport, because they can buy all the players they want and have all the greatest players on their team. So it is really hard to win in baseball. It's even harder to win when in 2017 we got to deal with cheaters like the Astros. So I do not like this. I am not here for this. LeBron, yes, you have officially become the Drake of baseball. Chris, I'm going to go to you here because you are another person that has
God. Oh my God.
You have been your team for a really long time. You have been there through thick and thin and even thinner. What are your thoughts on bandwagon fans? Because if your Knicks were doing really well and all of a sudden you saw all these new Knicks fans, how would you feel in that moment? I'm feeling as a Dodgers fan now, seeing all these. There's been a whole slew of Dodgers fans right now.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's a good question because I don't know. We got a taste of that in 2013 when we were like third in the East, and the East was actually good back then. And we had all of a sudden all these people who were open Knicks fans and stuff like that. And I did feel a type of way. But if we were like in your position, we were championship contending, and I'm seeing all these people talking about the Knicks, I would definitely feel very salty in some type of way. Normally I wouldn't care, but because of the struggle and everything I've gone through and the chokes and the pointing and the laughing and everything, yes, I'm gonna feel a type of way on any kind of bandwagons all of a sudden trying to act like they're a Knicks fan. So yeah, I hear you on that for sure.
And I think that's what it is. It's the struggle because, like I said, Dodgers haven't won since '88. That is a long time. I have never seen them win a championship, like a World Series. So, like, to have moments like that where we're so close now, and then all of a sudden you see all these like, you do not get to enjoy this moment. No. And especially LeBron, you had your moment a week ago. Go back to your moment and leave my moment alone. And take all these other bandwagon Dodger fans with you because I don't want to see any of them. None of them get to celebrate this moment if we happen to have it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. That is it for Britt's take today.
Yeah, I co-sign.
All right, you guys, let's wrap up this show. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, comment below, wash your hands, wear a mask, and like Britt said, don't be a bandwagon fan. We'll see you guys later.
No
Bye.
bandwagon.
Unless you're just following LeBron. Do what LeBron does. Follow him anyway.
You're a LeBron fan. You're just following LeBron. That's different.
Exactly.